And that's why he lost some ground, because Foster was there as he whirly birds his way underneath the 89 car. Rowan Pennick started in 13th. He is currently running in 7th. But the man running by himself at the front of the field is Todd Owen. He picked up 1 win last year. Sean Foster with a power move, and he has taken Ted Christopher with him.
Ted Christopher, a traditional dive bomb move, right along with him, because Woody Pitkat, he'll go to the inside and races side by side with the car that he drove last season. Keep an eye on Eric Burke. Burke is on the move. He's in the 3rd spot, and he's trying to put a move on Tommy Bowles. He'll look to the outside in turn number 3 in car number 66. Off turn number 4, Burnt dipped down to the bottom and falls back in line. Sean Foster into position number 4. Battles on for 5th. Rowan Pennick moves to the bottom. Outside goes Kurt Brainerd. And here comes Dan Avery. We talked about how good Dan Avery was, 3 laps shy of victory, and now he is inside the top 6.
Dan Avery said last week he felt more confidence than he's felt in quite some time. He now sits in the 6th spot. Meanwhile, further back in the field, Woody Pitkat is working with Galco. There's Doug Colby. Michael Bennett starting to show some muscle as they come back off turn number 4.
My favorite Bucklerism is I think he's only said it like once, but it was tighter than bikinis. And at the time I was making fun of Kyle Busch, but I'm not going to explain what I said. So, yeah.
Owen in the lead, but for how long? Eric Burnt all over the back bumper, pushing him down the backstretch into turn number 3. Burnt looks to the outside in the middle of the corner. On the gas they come, back to the line. Owen fending off the challenge. Here comes Eric Burnt, a power move to the high side of the racetrack, and he will take over the lead over Todd Owen.
Boy, it looked like he was in Cape Canaveral as he went out to the launching pad to the outside and just whirlwinded his way around Owen. Owen trying to pay him back as they enter turn 4.
Can't make it work that time by, and Eric Burnt holds on to the top spot. Here comes Tommy Bowles. They touch going into turn number 1. Sideways through the dirt. Owen holds onto it. Bowles hangs onto it, and everybody continues on the backstretch. And right behind them, Sean Foster trying to hold off a hard-charging Dan Avery and Woody Pitkat. How about Rowan Pennick? He's trouble. Dan Avery off turn number 4, spins down to the bottom of the racetrack in some smoke. Let's see if he can get that car refired once again as the leaders race into turn number 3. Eric Burnt noses out in front as they hit the backstretch. He's got help with Ted Christopher, pushing him to the lead in turn number 3. Eric Burnt, your leader. Battle on for 2nd. Ted Christopher, 2 red race cars side by side for 2nd.
A very patient move by the 89 of Pennick as he was able to hang on to 5th.
Tommy Bowles off the front bumper of Rowan Pennick, slides through the corner, and he finally gets clipped as they go to the inside of turn number 2. Michael Jarvis coming in after the fact with the right front of his race car, clipping the left side of Tommy Bowles. Doug Colby all of a sudden, he is in the mix trying to pick up the 4th spot to the bottom. Trouble. Eric Burnt sideways slides up the hill into the outside retaining wall, and the 89 of Rowan Pennick involved as well.
Foster is in the infield.
Sean Foster doing donuts in the infield with his TSI Harley Davidson number 25.
Tommy Ferd having a very tough night tonight in car number 20. In car number 92, he is in 20th place, all by his lonesome at the rear of the field. So this is not the Ferd we are used to seeing, but this is a Portante that we are used to seeing as he is getting ready to elbow his way into the lead.
Jimmy Peterson gets shuffled on the outside, just out of the lead. Now he's struggling for 2nd. Here comes Andrew Duran back to life. He takes over 2nd, and Gamba Corda moves on to the podium in position number 3. Portante looking like the peripheral leader of the pack, and he is now pulling away by about a car length and a half.
He is another former kart driver at Stafford. The first time he has ever led a feature this late in a race, but he blows up. Smoke engulfing the number 24 car as that car just erupted heading into turn number 1, and in a coma is the car driven by Peter Portante.
Heartbreaking situation. They always say they run best just before they expire, and the caution flag comes out, as now it is Adam Gray who tries the same type of move. Jimmy Peterson back in command. Car number 17, the Flamingo Motorsports car. once again your leader. Duran has to settle in for second. He's not going to settle, Matt. He's making a bid back for the lead.
He's got room. Can he boogie underneath Peterson? Not yet, but he's going to try it again. However, his plans are put on hold because we have an altercation in turn 4.
It is literally a scramble of about 6 or 8 cars all getting away, with the exception of a couple of cars. Looks like the J.J. Hill car is one of those cars. Eddie Ricard is another one. St. Hilaire is, and Casagrande is the final car that got involved in that mix-up there. We'll take a look at instant replay. Now, those of you that are down in the Midway area, if you're near the popcorn stand, they've got those replays set up there as well. Now, let's describe what this situation looks like. They go into the turn. The one car is tapped. That's the red one of Casagrande, and the 41, the blue car, was a victim of circumstances. Meanwhile, Mavlajanis is down underneath Jim Peterson. Door opens up. Mavlajanis tries it, makes contact, and car number 17
and there, I believe, was liquid on the track, and that was the reason why Mavlajanis went out of line, and he just drop-kicked the 17 of Peterson, who made a direct path into the wall. So a very painful way to end the night for Jim Peterson.
And we are green and racing, and Mavlajanis, as Stewart now tries to change lanes, he tries to dip down to the bottom of the racetrack. It doesn't pay off, and we see some sparks underneath the Adam Gray car.
As Stewart tried to go down, but Adam Gray already had the position occupied. Woody Pitcat roaming along in fourth.
Look at Adam Gray.
Here comes Adam Gray, and he makes a bold move to take the lead.
Adam Gray's car looks more like it was, well, a target in a shooting gallery. It's sparking, and it's got pieces hanging off it, but it's the fastest car in the house, and it is the leader of the pack. But it is Adam Gray who not only takes the lead, but pulls away by 2 car lengths. Well, Tommy Fern, and Stewart are sideways. They're locked together momentarily, but off the turn, it's Fern who's up to second, Stewart back to third, and Casagrande. What a job for this young talent.
He is now in the top 5, but his rival, David Secor, is trying to take off. Strong move, Fluckinger, as he leans on the second-place car of Alexander Fern, and they both wind up in John Deere country.
But that's not the only story. Here is perhaps the story of the night and the story of the championship. Car number 38 is smoking like Smokey the Bear.
Well, Dave Secor just about out of the car, trying to catch his breath after absolutely screaming in delight for this win. Yeah! And the Dare division has a winner with an attitude.
This has been an outstanding 2013 racing season here at Stafford Motor Speedway, and it's mostly because of you, the drivers, that have made it possible here. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the time that you spent with me, the information you provided me. Although some of it didn't make it to the air, I am grateful for the time. It's been a tremendous learning experience for me. And a special shout out and thanks to Ryan Priest for having me involved in his fan appreciation party, and to Woody Pitcat. Congratulations on your championship this year, Woody. And also thanks a lot for the opportunity to be involved with your Champions for Charity event, the Victory Junction Gang Bowling Convention over at the Vernon Lanes. Thank you so much.
Here comes Burnham trying to put the move on Joe Nojic as he tries to roller coaster his way under the 00 car. Battle for the lead. Dwayne Provost putting his foot down, and Provost is ahead by a nostril over Justin Bren.
Provost has done well in 2013. Tonight would be the icing on the cake. All of a sudden, Austin Bissett, the young talent, has now moved in, and he will take over the 4th spot. Hayes settles back in for 5. It's short-lived. Here comes Jesse Hines, and David Arute is up on the wheel. Great move by Arute. Bonsai to the inside, and Arute knows that the clock is ticking, and this game isn't going to go into overtime.
The siesta is over for the number 28 car as he is able to scorch his way underneath Hayes. That will put Arute into the top 6. The 2 closest drivers to Arute in the point standings are running 2nd and 3rd respectively, but Jesse Hines might have something to say about that.
Arute is sideways right in the middle of turns 1 and 2. He goes around, and that brings out the yellow. Heartbreaker.
Wow.